In this lecture, we're going to talk about ethics. They are both important for the exam, they're important for your job, and for your career. And as part of that, you need to know, understand, and adhere to the ISC2 Code of Ethics. It's not just something you need to do in your day-to-day job, it's also part of the exam. It's very testable, and luckily for you, it's not very long. These are easy points, so take them where you can get them. And also understand that ethics are high-level guidelines. They should not replace your good ethical judgment on the exam. That said, I would know both the ISC2 preamble and the actual ethics canons. And yes, I'm going to read them to you because they are so important. The preamble is, the safety and welfare of society and the common good, duty to our principles and to each other requires that we adhere to and be seen to adhere to the highest ethical standards of behavior. Therefore, strict adherence to this code is a condition for certification. What that means is, before you can take your exam, you will be signing the code of ethics. If you actually break them, it is possible you could have your certification revoked. So know them, understand them, and adhere to them. And in most cases, if this happens, if you lose your certification, it will tie back to negligence or gross negligence, which means you didn't do your due care, you did not do your due diligence. Alright, now let's look at the 4 canons. Protect society, the common good, and necessary public trust and confidence, and the infrastructure. Act honorably, honestly, justly, responsibly, and legally. Provide diligent and competent services to the principals. And last, but very much not least, advance and protect the profession. There are a couple of other ethics canons out there that might be beneficial to know. Let's cover one of them, the 10 Commandments from the Computer Ethics Institute, and most of the other canons really are the same, just with different words, different structure, but the intent is the same. And since all these starts with thou shalt not, I'm just gonna skip that after I do it the first time. Thou shalt not use a computer to harm other people. Don't interfere with other people's computer work. Don't snoop around in other people's computer files. Don't use a computer to steal. Don't use a computer to bear false witness. Don't copy or use any proprietary software which you have not paid for. Don't use other people's computer resources without authorization and proper compensation. Don't appropriate other people's intellectual property. And finally, this one doesn't have a don't. It's think about the social consequences of your programs you're writing or systems you are designing. And finally, always use a computer in a way that ensures consideration and respect for your fellow humans. On the exam, you're not going to see any of these commandments on there. It is likely you're going to see something from ISC2, either the preamble or the actual canons. But really, it's the same thing here, right? Don't hurt people, don't steal their stuff, don't use their stuff to do something you're not supposed to, don't lie, don't use things without permission, think about what you're doing, and show respect and consideration for other people. And then finally, as an ISIT or cybersecurity professional, you need to understand the ethics that govern your organization. Many large organizations have their own code of ethics, and most of them, just like the ones from ISC2, boil down to the same key elements. Do what's right, don't steal, be ethical. So of course, for the exam, you're not going to see anything from your organization, but I still think it's important that you know and understand them. And just a final reminder, again, know the ISC2 preamble and know the canons. They are very testable. And with that, we are done with this lecture. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next lecture.